Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another video. All right, y'all. So let's talk. Let's talk about a strawweight y'all know I'm high on. She is now entering the top 10, and that, of course, is Amanda Lemos. Y'all know the rankings, they just been updated, and everybody's been pretty much pushed up a spot because Claudia Gadelha just made her exit. She retired from the game finally. Shout out to Claudia, though. But yeah, man, since she retired, everybody's been moving up a spot. And, of course, off the strength of her win as well, we can make that argument. Amanda Lemos is now top 10. Know a lot of people would disagree, but hey, she's in there. And in my opinion, I think even off of that close, controversial decision in people's eyes that say it's a robbery, I think Amanda Lemos, she did enough to win the fight, and she showed that she's a step above the fighters below her, which makes her top 10. So she is top 10 material. Now, are we saying she's the best or she's a future champion? Not yet, but she is top 10 material. I will say she is top 10, but all in that fight this past Saturday, she did show a number of things that could cost her that spot, if she doesn't improve. If she doesn't tighten up eventually, she won't touch that title, So she's in a spot where I can say she is, number 10, and she could beat some fighters around her. But, that's all based off if she can continue to improve on two things. And these two things now she really needs, because these are the two things that she really lacked in this fight. And I would say that's patience and execution, Lemos, she shows very good technique now. Don't get me wrong with that. Her technique is good. But the minute she was presented with something different, she was almost off her game. She definitely won the fight in my eyes, but I can't say it took, it was really a good showing in there. Like, there was really never a good moment where I said, oh, man, like, there it is. It was always like a miss in there. It was always like a miss where she was just taking a sloppy approach just to get enough to get done and get the win at some point. Like, I think it all came down to the mindset of her just not focusing on the win, but pushing for the KO. And everybody knows, like, when you just try to push for a KO, when you just have KO on your mind, that you're probably going to lose. You're probably not going to look good in the win. You're probably just going to, like, lose patience, and you're just going to fall apart. Because when you come in there with one game plan just to KO somebody, that's already wrong mindset, because nothing works that way. Everybody, when you get up in the morning, you have your day planned out, right? You make a plan to kind of give you direction, right? Because everybody knows that you won't be able to complete everything on that list, and it's not going to go the way you want it to go. There's always going to be something sidestepping, but you kind of make that list to decide what's critical and what needs to get done that day, right? You go through the five things on your list you need to do that day, right? Number one, of course, is going to be your most hot item on that list that you need to get done, right? So right away I need to do that. That's why you do it. That's why you come up with that type of game plan to always kind of be open, right? But when you try to say, okay, this is all I'm doing and we're just going to stick to it, it doesn't work that way, because the minute you try to stick to it and other things from left field come in, right field, some stuff you didn't expect, you really start to get anxiety in there. You start to fall apart. That's kind of what Amanda Lemos did in this fight. Like, her mind state was set on KO, like she said in that interview. She wanted to knock Amanda Lemos out. Maybe she said some other things. Maybe she, wanted to try some other stuff too. But she said she wanted to knock Angela Hill out. She wanted to knock Angela Hill out, and that's how she presented the fight. So the minute it didn't happen, patience was not shown. Execution to win was not really shown. It was just kind of going through the motions at times, And by the time she had to play catch up, even after the second round, it was like our game plan was still knockout. It wasn't just to, maybe get in some clinch work or take this fight down to the ground and maul Angela Hill. Everything was just kind of like, okay, we just got to keep trying. And luckily, Angela Hill wasn't that type of fighter to level up, in that third round. Of course, Angela Hill did try, but there were still some moments where Angela Hill was just staying the same fighter that Lemos could still kind of skate by with, right? So that right there was the wrong mindset, and it kind of cost her, a big statement maker, pushing for the KO. And when she pushed for the KO, that shows a lack of patience in the fighter. Like, she want to go in there and score something big, I know, and make a big statement, but it showed a lack of patience even in the first round. Like, when she couldn't line up the shot and Angela Hill was already, fainting and dancing and moving, I saw a lack of patience there. She was still swinging for the fences. She was swinging for the fences and trying to go for these big home run shots, but Angela Hill took her best kick. She took some of her best right hands, And it was like, okay, with this lack of patience, then it's like, what am I doing here, right? Now you start to say, oh, it's not going the way I want. Why should I continue to try to look good? See, what you're supposed to do if you can't get the knockout is still try to be dominant and try to get that win in another fashion where the judges are still going to be on your side and say, okay, this person whooped that person, right? They dominated and they 30-27, right? You still have to be in that position to say, okay, if that doesn't come, I got to be patient. But kind of showed a lack of patience there with her just trying to go for the knockout. And then going back, when you go for a knockout and you say that's your only mindset on this fighter, you're kind of underestimating that fighter. You're kind of underestimating them. And I think that shows you that you kind of have a lack of knowledge on this fighter, which is not good. Like, you say you're going to knock her out. When have you ever seen Angela Hill knocked out? Hill's been in over 20 fights in the UFC. You have to know that she's not easy to stop. So for this being your first veteran, your first real big season veteran, you should, I would say like second because Leslie Smith is one, but at strawweight, this is like her first big season veteran at strawweight. To try to go in there and say you're going to knock her out and then you make it sound easy, you kind of underestimate. You are underestimating this fighter because, again, Angela Hill's never been stopped in like devastating fashion. She's been submitted, but she's never been stopped. So going in there with that mindset, it's kind of like Amanda Nunes did with Juliana Pena. I seen this style before. I seen this style before. I got it. But now you go in here saying, oh, I'm going to knock her out. You looking at her resume, oh, she got 10 losses. You think it's going to be easy to knock this person out? No, you should know, man, this girl's awkward. Y'all be watching her fights. Man, she's got a close fight. I probably got to put pressure on this girl and just get her down to the ground and try to maul her and try to submit her. That should have been her mind state. Actually taking her down to the ground and trying to submit would have been a better game plan, right? But, she chose to try to go for the knockout. And another thing it kind of exposed is a lack of IQ. It showed a lack of IQ here because Angela Hill was there to be hit at times. But, again, Amanda Lemos, she didn't try to set up the knockout. She didn't try to set up these shots. She didn't try to set up, a methodical way of breaking her opponent down to eventually get the stop. It was like as soon as Angela Hill started throwing back and, putting that pressure on her, even in the clinch, she didn't try to switch gears and say, okay, I can't get this girl knocked out. She's durable. She's tough. She's strong. I just got to go to the body and kind of break her down and make sure I can stay up ahead, by outboxing and outstriking her with the cleaner strikes. You know what I mean? It was still like she was landing more singles and more significant shots, but it was too far in between at times. You know what I mean? Like she was making it closer and sloppier than it needed to be. Because, Angela Hill moves a lot. She's moving and feinting, but she can still be hit. Once you measure right with Angela Hill, you take just a subtle amount of steps, you can kick her. You can kick her right in the face like she's shown, and you can land a jab on Angela Hill. You can go to her body. So I think she just showed a lack of IQ on how to handle this style, and she has a stepped out IQ up moving up the ladder. The next thing that was shown here is this is something we're talking about on live stream. Some people have said Amanda Lemos showed a lack of cardio, but no, it wasn't a lack of cardio. It was the fact that she was swinging for the fences, because I've seen Amanda Lemos fight. She's a 3-round fighter. She can fight. She can go on and on. But the thing is, again, going for the KO in that mindset, you're going to be swinging for the fences, right? And once you start swinging for the fences, every single punch you throw with knockout written on it is going to gas you out. Like, yeah, your gas tank is full, but the minute you start putting everything into these big shots, you start putting that funk on every single shot you throw. Like you see her throwing them wild right hands and them left hooks. Some right hands would land, but some would just miss by a mile. That's taxing on your cardio. That's taxing on your gas tank. So you can have a great gas tank, but anybody who swings like with bad intentions on every single shot, they will gas eventually, or they will slow down eventually, right? So it's not the cardio here. It was the mindset of trying to go for the knockout, put her in the mindset of swinging for the fences, and you don't do that. You can't do that moving forward. Like when you fight a Marina Rodriguez, she knows how to, pop, pop, pop. She knows how to throw those, flick shots and then boom, put something on that one last shot. Because that's how you're supposed to do it. It's supposed to be a rhythm here. Like, don't swing for the home run on every single one. Sometimes you need to bunt. So that was another thing that kind of showed me in Amanda Lemos here, that she was swinging for the fences, and that's not good. That's not good moving up the ladder. But let's talk. Let's talk the big one here. The big one, y'all know my critical weapon here. And this is where I was kind of disappointed in Lemos, because she could have got the knockout if she did what? What? How she could have gotten that knockout? She used that jab, right? If she would have used that jab, there was a lack of a jab in this fight. Oh my goodness. Like, she threw it a couple times in Atlanta, but she had a lack of jabs in this fight, man. Like I said, going back to swinging for the fences and just going for the knockout, it put her in a mindset of just throwing power shots. Like, you can set knockouts off of jabs. It's the easiest punch to set a knockout off of. A simple 1-2 can drop somebody and put them out. That's why I was like, where's the jab at in this fight? Like, Lemos has a beautiful jab, beautiful straight punches. All she had to do was punt that jab in Angela Hill's face, behind some low kicks and switch it up, jab to the body, jab upstairs. Rocky Pennington was a beautiful jabber in her Macy Chiasson fight. Great example. Jab, stab, jab to the body, then opens up the right hand to the head, throwing the right hand to the body, back upstairs with a jab to the head. That's what I'm saying. Straight shot. That jab is so easy to throw. It's easier than a hook, but it gets you so many. It's easier and it's less power on it than a left hook, but it gets you all the results you need. Like, you throw that jab in the face of Angela Hill several times, double jab it, boom, then you come over the top with the right hand. Or you throw a double jab and end it with a leg kick just to start switching her up, switching it up and slowing her down. So that was a big part. Like I said, this was mostly like patience and execution, but the technical approach here was wrong too. You know what I mean? Like, the jab was not there. The jab was not there, man. So I just need to see her throw that a little bit more moving forward in these fights, or throw abundance of it, man, because she throws a great jab. She throws a great jab. She just needs to throw it at the right speed. Not every single punch has to be knockout. No. So yeah, with that being said, I just wanted to come on here and break it down for y'all, because I think she still won the fight, but y'all are thinking I'm saying she's hyped up now. No, like, I'm still going to go back and criticize and critique a little bit here. If I see something wrong, I'll talk about it. If I see something right, I'm going to talk about it. Like I said, before the fight, I said she had the potential to be, top 5, but we will pump the brakes a little bit. But she definitely is top 10. And I think she could still beat some, 6, 7, 8, 9, in some tough fights. But I can still see her winning those fights. But from here, what she showed tonight is a lot of things even y'all saying she is hype job now didn't even see. You know what I mean? Y'all didn't even see this. Y'all, now that we are seeing it, we have something to base it off of. That's why I want to wait till I see some more. Then I'll come back on and talk about weaknesses. Like I said, I talk about weaknesses over here all the time. This is corner talk. You know what I mean? We ain't just troll talk over here. But yeah, man. Final thoughts on this video. Like I said, once she puts all of this together and just throws out that mindset of, I got this great power, and I'm feeling myself. Ain't nobody got power like me. Once she puts that mindset out and goes back to the basics and just starts going in with more of a dominant mindset, like even Manon Fiorot. Like, Manon, she'll knock you out, but even her, she'll kind of break you down. Like, if she goes back to that mindset of just breaking a fighter down, chopping you away, chopping away at you, she'll get it. She'll get it right on course. But like I said, Angela Hill presents an ugly style for everybody. She's just awkward like that. And sadly, sometimes that awkwardness, well, I won't say sadly, for the good, it'll expose something in you that you need to work on. Like even Roxy. Like, Roxy got all these losses, but once she starts to get you in certain positions, you be like, oh man, like, I didn't know, dang, like, she can do that. I was like, I've never done this before. Like, she's taking me into deep waters, right? So there's always a plus to, even a close win or even a loss. So that's how I see it. But yeah, moving forward, I want to see Lemos still fight up. You still got to keep going up. Ain't no setbacks here, because I don't think anybody at the lower level is really going to teach her anything like a Velismus or a Pinheiro. Backtracking and fighting any of them fighters ain't going to help her. She wants to go up from here. Who did she call out? Yan Xiaonan. That's still a good fight style-wise. She called out Yan Xiaonan. Like I said, Nina Azaroff. Nina Azaroff is still a fighter that needs to, get that work from her. She's holding down the number 6, 7 spot. Hey, let her get it. Let her get into that, closer to that top 5. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got on this one. Like I said, let me know in the comment section what y'all think about Amanda Lemos. Like I said, these are my thoughts, and I'm not going to change them. Not at all, because this is how I feel. You know, I still think highly of her. Everybody has a bad night, and I think with these improvements that she makes, you know, she starts throwing a jab, stop swinging for the fences, you know, start being a lot more patient, and don't underestimate your opponents. You should be good to go. So yeah, Corner Talk, Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.